Good morning. Yes, almost noon, so it's still morning. Um, I'm Stephanie of creativelymsme and YouTube Tips. Now, I came on here this morning to just say a couple of things. I want to thank everyone for being here and allowing me to um, try to get my head together, get in a new space. I, if some of you don't know, my mom passed away on September 27th. And it was a hard, busy week because she died on the 27th. And that Wednesday, I had to get insurance and things together because um, the normal thing would have been to bury her the following next weekend. But because my cousin's wedding was already planned for that next weekend, we couldn't do it that next weekend. So, and my dad didn't want her laying around for 3 weeks waiting to be buried. So we rushed it that same week. So we had a funeral here in Houston, and then we had a service back in our hometown in Ennis on that Saturday. So that Friday and Saturday, we were really just thrown a loop. But I've been trying to get myself back into doing things. Um, I'm the oldest, so what I did was I was trying to make sure my dad was okay, my siblings, my kids, my nieces that were there. I was trying to make sure everybody was okay. And at the same time, my husband had just got out the hospital and he wasn't doing too well. He was in a lot of pain. So I was trying to take care of him too. So, as most of us mothers do or wives, we always put ourselves on the back burner and tend to everybody else's needs. Well, to be honest, I still haven't mourned. I haven't cried a bit, but my body has been doing things like, you're not sleeping. No, you finally get to sleep. No, you're not getting up. And it's what, 11:05 a.m. here. I've only been out the bed maybe 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Enough for me to get up, wash my face, brush my teeth, put on some clothes, and come upstairs. I've literally only been up 10 minutes. And yesterday, I didn't get out of bed till almost 1. So I'm really trying to push myself to get up and not fall in that rabbit hole. Because you know what a rabbit hole is. If you've ever been in a depression state, once you fall into that rabbit hole, it keeps spiraling and spiraling and spiraling and spiraling till you hit flat bottom. Well, I'm trying not to hit that space. So a company contacted me and wanted me to review an item. And my goal today is to get it done today and set it up. But I wanted to come on and say thank you so much to some of my YouTube sisters who have reached out to me via a message on a text message on Instagram. I received some messages on Facebook. I received some calls from some ladies. Shoshana called me from All Things Shoshana. Gigi from Gigi Fajon, she called me. And Jill from Jill Style called and we spoke for a while. So I've been reached out by a lot of ladies, and I do appreciate it so much that you took the time out to contact me in this time. And I'm trying to get it together, y'all. I know everybody says take your time. Well, I am. I'm taking my time. Who is this? Thank you, Tabitha. I'm taking my time because this is something truly new to me, and the the loss, we knew it was coming, and I thought I was ready, but I actually wasn't. When we put her in the facility because she had dementia and it was just too bad on my dad and she wouldn't go anywhere. and she was really getting bad. So we had to put her in a facility. So when all my siblings, all four of us got together, we got her things together, and we took her. And we thought that was the hardest thing in our lives, to take our mom to that facility. And to take her to the facility and leave her there. And that was hard. But we knew she was in a place that would take good care of her. And then, too, your girl here, I would put a camera in the room. I put a camera so we could see the goings on, to make sure that she wasn't mistreated or any kind of thing like that. And then, too, with the camera, we could talk to her. We could see her doing something and go, "Hey, mama, what you doing?" And then to a point where she wouldn't respond to mama all the time. We'd call her by her name. "Korean, what are you doing?" So I got used to waking up in the morning and, getting my phone and flipping it and looking at her on the camera. Sometimes during the night. A couple of times I had to go up there during the night to get her calmed down. So she was still here. But I have been watching her on the camera, and I noticed some things about her that wasn't quite normal. So the facility contacted me about finding a hospice nurse. And, forever you think of hospice, you think the worst of the worst when you hear hospice. But what they were doing was, because she was in so much pain with the arthritis, they needed somebody to manage her pain medicine and watch over her as she was going through these things. So I found a good hospice nurse and a hospice aide to come out. And they were really sweet people, really sweet people. They came out and they would take care of her while she was there. And they saw to her pain. They made sure that she wasn't, in a lot of pain. So they watched her about maybe 2 weeks. And then one night, about 10:30, they called me that Monday. 10:30 that night. No, it was a Sunday. Think about it, Sunday night. Doing all of this, my husband was in the hospital, and he had a procedure done on his legs. He's a diabetic. Well, he's on dialysis, so there's some complications. But he's in the hospital. And so I was running back and forth between him and, trying to see what was going on with my mom in the hospice. Well, they called me that Sunday night, 10:30 that night. I was laying in the bed looking at TV, and they said, "We've been trying to reach your dad all day, but he hasn't answered. And your mom is transitioning. So if y'all want to say goodbye, y'all need to get here." And I kind of froze. And I asked her again, what did she say? She repeated it. So I called my dad first. And he was in the bed. He jumped up. While I was getting dressed, I called my siblings, my 2 brothers in Austin And I called my sister here. I jumped in my car, and I normally don't drive in the dark, but I had my lights on bright, and the girl was flying. And we got there, and she was still there. We thought she had left us, but she was still there. My brothers and their families got down. They made it here about 3 o'clock in the morning. They drove straight in from Austin. So we were all in there with her. We stayed there with her until about, I think, about 5 in the morning. Everybody said, okay, go home. Everybody go get some sleep, come back. So everybody went home, got some sleep. We were back up there Tuesday. So yeah, they were back up there Monday. So everybody went home. My brother stayed up there all day. We stayed up there pretty much on Monday till about, I think it may have been 1, 2 in the morning. And we said, okay, we're going to go home and get some rest. And we'll be back in the morning, on Tuesday morning. Well, I knew I had to take some stuff up to my husband that morning. He needed it at the hospital. So I said, well, let me go by the hospital to my husband, then come back and see my mom at the facility. But something told me, no, you need to go to the facility first. So my camera chimed to let me know that somebody was in my mom's room, and I looked, it was my dad. So I went ahead and went to the facility. Well, me and my dad were sitting there talking and looking at her and everything. And the hospice nurse came in, did a check, heart, blood pressure, all of that. And she told us, you need to get your family up here. She has maybe an hour. That was like, whew, air taking out your body. And then, so me and my dad called my siblings and they said, Mama only has maybe an hour, so y'all need to hurry up and get up here. So they were in the store. My brothers were in Sam's Club. They just left their baskets and got in the cars and got to the facility as fast as they could. Then the nurse come back in and she checks her again. And she says she has a matter of minutes. Her heart rate had dropped down in a matter of 5-10 minutes. It had dropped down so low that it was just about gone. So when she said Mama had barely a matter of minutes, my dad and I jumped up, and he was on one side, I was on the other. He kissed her, told her he loved her. We had just celebrated her 77th birthday, and their wedding anniversary was the next day, 57 years. We held her hand, and we watched my mother take her. We watched my mother take her last 3 breaths. And as she took her last breath, the door to her room popped open. It was my 2 brothers. And my dad was crying. And my brothers both ran to the side of the bed, and, they kissed her and they broke down. So immediately, me, being me, I cut off my feelings. No more tears, Stephanie. You can't feel down. You have to be the strong one. Cut them off. Immediately. I locked up my feelings and I tended to my father and to my brothers. I tended to my sister, uh, my nieces. I called my son. He came from California. He flew in for the funeral. Tended my daughter. I'm tending to everybody. Trying to make sure that my husband is not in a lot of pain. Making sure that he's taking his pain meds, that he's doing what he's supposed to do as far as his legs are concerned. And cut those feelings off. That week was the hardest week of my life. Saying goodbye to my thrifting buddy, to my soap opera buddy. You know, I had stopped watching soap operas, but she had called me and would say, "Girl, did you see what Jack did today?" And da 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 da. So I had to start watching them. So when she called me, we'd have something to talk about. She got me hooked on them soap operas, y'all. But as her memory faded, I let them go. I miss her. I really miss her. This will be our first holiday without my mom. So we're all coming together. We're cooking our signature dishes. And we're going to be at my dad's. He's cooking the dressing. He loves to cook it. I showed him how to cook the dressing years ago, and he enjoys cooking it. And so he's cooking the dressing. I'm cooking greens. And of course, I'm making corn on the cob and some butter rolls. And I'm making sweet potato pie. And then my brother is making, the younger of my two brothers is making the banana pudding. His wife is cooking those yams. That girl be cooking those yams, y'all. And she's making a broccoli and rice and cheese casserole. My sister, she makes the best cake. Oh my goodness, she makes this cake from scratch, y'all. It melts in your mouth. And so she's making her cake, and she's making the baked macaroni and cheese and green beans. Now, I don't know how y'all make y'all green beans, but we put the beans on with stewed potatoes and sausage cut up, not breakfast sausage, but the links, smoked links cut up in them, some kind of meat cut up in them. So she's fixing that. And the older of my two brothers, he's the master chef. Okay, y'all. He's gonna smoke a turkey, and he's gonna smoke a ham. He's gonna make ribs and brisket. So we're gonna have a lot. Oh, and I'm making the ghibli gravy also, because I got to have my gravy for my dressing. I'm not part of the cranberry sauce on the dressing party. I never have been. So we're kind of looking forward to getting together. But it's also going to be a hard one because we have not sat down, all of us, and talked about my mom. Because we had her funeral. She died that Tuesday. And she died that Wednesday. No, she died that Tuesday. And Wednesday, I spent making the plans for two different services, one in Houston and one in my hometown in Ennis. And so she passed. We planned. We prepared for the funeral on Friday. Did the funeral Friday here at 11 o'clock. Left there. Went home. chilled out, and jumped back up at 6 o'clock in the morning, got on the road, and drove to my hometown. And that trip was about 3.5 hours from Houston. And after that service was over, family and friends were there. We went to go eat and talk a little bit with family and friends. But we never sat down, us as a family, and talked. So I know this is going to be a difficult time for us for Thanksgiving. And I have set up 2 trees out of the 3. They're not decorated, they set up. I planned it on, well, my plan was to put up the big one yesterday, but I didn't. So today, my plan is to at least set up the big tree and do this video for this company that should have been out last week. So I just wanted to let you know that I'm not gone. I'm just trying to get myself back together and find a happy medium somewhere so I can make myself get up and do. I don't want to lay in bed and fall into a deep depression. I want to get up and do something. In my head, my mind is telling me everything I need to do, everything I need to jump up and get together. But my body is not mixing with my mind. I'm trying, y'all. I really am. I'm trying. And this is hard. It's hard. But we're trying to be solid for my dad. Because him and my mom have been married for 57 years. And after 57 years with a person, to lose them, we don't want him to slip into one of those things where married couples have been together a long time and one dies, the other one dies 6 months later. We don't want that. We want him to be around till he's rusty dusty, as he says. So I just wanted to pop in. I've been on here a minute. I didn't think I was going to be here that long, but I think this may be something I needed to get out. But as you didn't hear, my husband yell for me. He went and got lunch. So I'm going to get off here and try to get things together. And hopefully today I can at least get 2 films done today, hopefully, which will be the sponsored video and then the video of me getting that other tree put up. And the other tree is a 9-foot tree. It's a big tree. Getting it set up and getting the light, making sure all the lights come on. If I can get that accomplished today, I've done something great today. So hopefully I will see y'all in 2 videos coming up. What's today? Today is Thursday, right? Is today Thursday, y'all? Yep, today is Thursday. So hopefully I can have those 2 videos up for next week, next Tuesday and next Thursday, and then I can punch fear in the face, as Sean Kendall says, and start getting my formal dining room ready for Christmas, at least decorating those 2 trees. I'm trying, guys. So thank you all for coming on. Let me read your comments. Bless your heart, I'm sorry. Thank you, Tabitha. Girl, I need it. Hi, Martha. Clarissa, I'm loving you from afar. Take care. We're not going anywhere. I love you. I lost my mom a year and a half ago, and I'm still dealing with the loss. I just, just a prayer here and there, Clarissa, is fine with me. Hi, Lisa. My deepest condolences to you and your family. May God guide you through. Thank you. I'm trying so hard. I'm trying. And hi, Petal. Hello, dear everyone live. Sending love. I know it's not easy, but God will see you through. Thank you, Martha. Lisa says, I'm praying for you, Stephanie. If you need me, I'm here. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. I appreciate everyone that did pop on. It was just a promptu. I needed to do this because I haven't said it out loud. The whole thing out loud. And I feel a little better. That probably is what I needed. I thank you guys, and hopefully I hadn't been on here too long to wear you out, but I will see you hopefully next week on 2 new videos. Bye-bye.